Hello everyone, I am Reed Wagley, a solutions architect at AWS. Today, we'll explore AWS Organizations Tag Policies. We'll demonstrate how to enable, create, customize, and apply this policy in your organization. We'll also cover enforcing and evaluating policies for organization resources and using tags for attribute-based access control. Tag policies standardize tags across resources in AWS organization accounts, ensuring consistency. This includes the preferred case treatment of tag keys and tag values. A tag policy is how you can express your tagging schema in JSON form so that the platform can report and optionally enforce the schema within your AWS environment. Tag policies also simplify the implementation of ABAC authorization strategy for simplified access control and governance using standardized tags. Integrated with AWS organizations, you can apply tag policies flexibly, whether across your entire organization's specific OUs or individual AWS accounts. Recent improvements now allow you to use wildcard, making it easier to enforce tagging rules across all supported resources within a service. For tag policy compliance monitoring, tag policies work seamlessly with AWS Resource Groups. This integration helps you track and manage tagged resources while generating detailed compliance reports at both account and organization levels. This visibility helps with maintaining consistent tagging standards across your AWS environment. Now let's see how this works on our AWS console. Once I log onto your AWS account with proper permission on my user account, I start on the service AWS Organization. Before we can create tag policies, we need to ensure they're enabled in our organization. This is a one-time setup that affects the entire organization. Now that we've confirmed tag policies are enabled, let's create one. We will name it Department Tags. In our policy, we're enforcing capitalization and defining specified allowed values for the department tag. These will be marketing, research, and IT. This maintains consistency and standardization across our organization. We can also enforce this standard to prevent any non-compliant operations for this tag. Here, we're creating a policy that will standardize department tags across EC2 instances and S3 buckets. We can also use wildcards to apply the policy across all supported resource types, providing an effective single-line alternative to listing all resource type individually. Let's examine our policy structure and create it. When implementing tag policies, best practice is to test tag policies on a single organization unit before broader deployment. Remember that policies inherit down through the organization hierarchy. Here, we will attach the policy to select OU and accounts. Now, let's see how this policy works in practice. First, I'll demonstrate what happens when we try to create a resource with a non-compliant tags. Notice the error message. This is our policy in action, preventing inconsistent tagging. Now let's try with a compliant tag. As you can see, when we use the defined tags from our tag policy, the resource creation proceeds smoothly. Let's also look at how this affects existing resources. Non-compliant tags will be rejected, while compliant ones will be accepted. Now let's see if we already had running resources, how we can assess their compliance status based on our established tag policies. In order to get the tag compliance status for all the resources running in our account or organization, we can utilize the service Resource Groups and Tag Editor. We go into Tag Policies section, and we can get the compliance report for all the accounts within the organization centrally. These reports are refreshed every 48 hours by default. Here's an example report that was generated for my environment. It lists all the tagged resources and accounts across my organization and whether each resource is compliant with the effective tag policy or not. You can also view the compliance status of the account, which lists the resources running on the account that are non-compliant. For example, Here we see that one of my OUs and a S3 bucket in my account does not comply with the tag policies we have set. Now I'll demonstrate how to implement attribute-based access control, or ABAC, using tags in AWS organizations. While ABAC can be applied across a wide range of AWS services and resources within individual accounts through account-level ABAC using tags, in this demo, we will focus on using tags to control access to organization resources like OUs, accounts, or policies, and implement fine-grained permission based on attributes. First, we'll access the AWS Organization Console to view our org structure. Then we'll add tags to our organization resource, for example, OUs that we'll use for access control. I have added relevant department tags here, that is marketing and IT, to my resources like OUs and accounts that we'll use for access control. Now, I'll verify that my users or principal also have relevant tags associated with them. I'm using Identity Center User, and I will map their attributes for ABAC purposes here. These steps may look different for the IDP you use. Now, we'll set up ABAC policies within our permission set, or IAM policies. Here, I have a customer managed policy, and I've created the policy with that name within every account of my organization. You can leverage CloudFormation Stack Set to automate that process. This example IAM policy implements department-based access control for AWS organizations by matching users' attributes or tags with resources or attributes or tags. While users can perform basic organization operations, they can only access detailed account information or other management actions using these APIs if the condition statement is met, where the principal's department tag matches the resources department tag. The policy also includes transitive tag keys configurations to ensure that when users assume roles across accounts, their department tag is properly passed through, maintaining consistent ABAC enforcement throughout the organization's hierarchy. Now let's test our ABAC implementation to see it in action. I will log in as one of the users within our IAM Identity Center user, that is a marketing user, who has marketing attribute or tag associated. As you can see, I only have access to OUs and account information that has marketing tag, whereas I see access denied for resources that has IT tag. Let's recap the key takeaways. First, this policy significantly reduces governance overhead. By centralizing tag management, you're streamlining operations across your entire AWS ecosystem. Second, use tag policies to maintain consistent tagging. This ensures uniformity across your organization, improving resource management and cost allocation. Third, leverage AWS Resource Groups for automated compliance check. This integration provides real-time visibility into your tagging adherence. Fourth, implement attribute-based access control, or ABAC, using tags for a flexible and scalable access management. Lastly, I encourage you to review the AWS organization's documentation on tag policies. Thank you for watching the video.